moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouakai only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political norms. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President Bouakai
Convention. On the way, they brought yellow machine, they break it down. You don't want to miss it. Their hands, they were stealing things, they was causing my, oh, what a happy day. For those stupid people, the court said leave them, let them go fix their thing. Break it down now, they break it down. Somebody not die, no way. So, bunch of foolish. All the way. Oh, yeah. On the way. It's for the people, ain't I in bed? And they carrying in no yellow machine. Take it from them. Now it's here. We finish getting money. So let's go make them shake. We are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Yeah. Let me just tell you something. A new belt, it will be a swing. The people's mind. CDC will show. Supreme. Breaking ground. Aduba. Dealing things, they was causing my, oh, what a happy day. For those stupid people, the court said leave them, let them go fix their thing. But they were very, oh, they break it down. Somebody now go crazy, somebody not die, no way. So waiting happen, bunch of foolish people. Citizen. All the way. It's for the people, ain't I in bed, ain't in their heart, carrying no yellow machine from them. Now finish getting land, we come and break the ground. So let's go. Let's together just tell you something, a new belt, it will be a rainbow of true democracy and the people's mind. Cities show the world what it means to be supreme, so let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shame. Together we are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Breaking ground, breaking ground. All the way, they brought yellow my shit. They break it down. Oh yeah. They was clapping their hands. They was stealing things. They was cursing my. Oh, what a happy day for those stupid people. The court said, are you a sedition? Let them go fix. Are you a weashin? But they were very urgent. If you are here in the United States, get ready. Save the date from June the 24th to the 28th. Seditions will be gathering in Pennsylvania for their national convention. Don't miss it, man. All the way. Convention. From the 24th of June this year to the 28th. Yellow machine. The United States will be gathering in Pennsylvania for their national convention. This national convention, there will be dignitaries from Liberia, from the opposition community that will be gathering at this particular convention. If you are a sedition, the reaction, the convention, you can't afford to miss this, man. Let me just tell you something, a new belt, it will be a rainbow of true democracy and the people's mind. CDC will show the world what it means to be supreme, so let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shame. Together we are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Breaking ground, breaking ground. Oh yeah. That's how we do it right here. Feel like this. Somebody not die, no way. So what it happened? Bunch of foolish people. CDC. All the way. Oh yeah. All the way. CDC is for the people. Ain't I in bed and ain't I in the house. Ain't in their hearts and they carrying in no yellow machine. Can't take it from them. Now it's here. We finish getting land. We finish getting money. We come and break the ground to start putting again. So let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shame. Together we are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Yeah. Let me just just tell you something, a new belt, it will be a symbol of true democracy and the people's might. CDC will show the world what it means to be supreme, so let's go break our ground.
Are you a sedition? Are you a Weashian? Are you a Bakubashian? Or are you a Weabarian? If you are, from the 24th of June to the 28th, the CDC USA will be having a national convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Breaking ground.
And let's get ready. We will have and that occasion will be great. On His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah, members of the National Executive Committee,
they break it down.
Members of the opposition community,
they were stealing things.
Members from the collaborating political party, that is the coalition.
For those stupid people, the courts they leave them, let them go fix their thing. But they were very hard just to break it down. Now they break it down. Somebody now go crazy, somebody not die, no way. So when it happened, bunch of foolish people. CDC, 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 all the way. Oh, CDC, 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 oh yeah, 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 CDC, all the way. CDC is for the people. Ain't I in bed and ain't I in the house, ain't in their hearts, and they carrying in no yellow machine. Can't take it from them. Now yeah, it's here. We finish getting land, we finish getting money. We come and break the ground to start putting again. So let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shake.
Convention, convention, convention.
Strong. CDC, we are supreme.
From the 24th of June to the 28th,
Let me just tell you something.
Seditians will be gathering in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia for their national convention. This national convention, His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah,
So let's go.
and members of the National Executive Committee Global raise that occasion. We also have
Together we are strong.
members from the opposition community
We are
in
super.
the collaboration will also be part of the convention. And the food to miss. Oh yeah.
All the way, they brought yellow my shit. They break it down. They was clapping their hands, they was stealing things, they was cursing my. Oh, what a happy day. Those stupid people, the courts they leave them, let them go fix their thing. But they were very hard just to break it down. Now they break it down. Somebody now go crazy, somebody not die, no way. So when it happened, bunch of foolish people. CDC, 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 all the way. Oh, CDC, 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 oh yeah, 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 CDC, all the way. CDC is for the people. Ain't I in bed and ain't I in the house, ain't in their hearts, and they carrying in no yellow machine. Can't take it from them. Now yeah, it's here. We finish getting land, we finish getting money. We come and break the ground to start putting again. So let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shake. Together we are strong.
From June the 24th to the 28th, Philadelphia will feel the blue revolution.
Let me just tell you something, a new belt, it will be a symbol of true democracy and the people's might. CDC will show the world what it means to be supreme, so let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shake. Together we are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Those stupid people, the course they leave them, let them go fix their thing. But they were very old just to break it down. Now they break it down. Somebody now go crazy, somebody now die, no way. So waiting happen, bunch of foolish people. CDC, 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 all the way. Oh, CDC, 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 oh yeah, 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 CDC, all the way. CDC is for the people. Ain't not in bed, ain't not in the house, ain't in their hearts, and they carrying in no yellow machine. Can't take it from them. Now yeah, it's here. We finish getting land, we finish getting money. We come and break the ground to start putting again. So let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shake. Together we are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Yeah. Let me just tell you something. A new belt, it will be a symbol of true democracy and the people's mind. CDC will show the world what it means to be supreme. So the team from Europe will be here in the USA. The team from Canada will be here in the USA. The team from Australia will be here in the USA. The team from France will be here in the USA. I'm telling you, it's going to be a wonderful time. CDC USA. Breaking ground, breaking ground. All the way, they brought yellow my shit. They break it down. They was clapping their hands, they was stealing things, they was cursing man. Oh, what a happy day. For those stupid people, the course they leave them, let them go fix their thing. But they were very old just to break it down. Now they break it down. Somebody now go crazy, somebody now die, no way. So waiting happen, bunch of foolish people. CDC, 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 all the way. Oh, CDC, 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 oh yeah, 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 CDC, all the way. CDC is for the people. Ain't not in bed, ain't not in the house, ain't in their hearts, and they carrying in no yellow machine. Can't take it from them. Now yeah, it's here. We finish getting land, we finish getting money. We come and break the ground to start putting again. So let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shake. Together we are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Yeah. Let me just tell you something. A new belt, it will be a symbol of true democracy and the people's mind. CDC will show the world what it means to be supreme. So let's go break our ground. Let's go make them shake. Together we are strong. CDC, we are supreme. Breaking ground, breaking ground. Atuba, All right, okay. So, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, as always, it's a privilege for us to have each and every one of you here. We want to say thank you so much for what you continue to do We are so excited whenever we have the opportunity to be on here to give you information that are very relevant to the development and the growth of Mama Liberia. Again, as usual, we want to appeal to you. We want to ask that you hit for us the share button. Please send us some likes, send us some love emojis. Let's welcome some of our people that have joined us from around the globe. I want to say welcome to my own leader and brother, Ebenezer Asset. I want to say you are highly welcome. Thank you so much, Ebenezer Asset, for your presence here. It's a privilege for us to have you here. We want to appreciate you. We also want to use this time to welcome Mary. Mary, thank you so much for your presence here. We appreciate your presence. Thank you for joining us. We want to say welcome to Emmanuel Jackson. Emmanuel Jackson, thank you so very kindly. We appreciate your presence here. Thank you so very kindly. We want to also welcome Wookie Davis. Thank you so much, Wookie. We appreciate you. I'm sorry. We want to say welcome to Wookie Davis. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to use this time to welcome Ambassador Cyrus Momo Sambulai. Ambassador Cyrus Momo Sambulai, the SB Emeritus of CDC USA. We want to say you're highly welcome, sir. It's a privilege for us to have you here. Thank you so much, Ambassador. We appreciate your presence. We want to welcome the Honorable Jacob Cooper. Honorable Jacob Cooper, the Youth Chair Emeritus of CDC USA. We want to say you are highly welcome. We appreciate your presence. We want to say welcome to Alice. Alice Shelu, thank you so much for joining us. It's a privilege for us to have you here. In a special way, we want to recognize all of you. In a special way, we want to say Favor L. Morris. Thank you so much, Madam Favor L. Morris, one of the leader there, of CDC in Europe there. We want to say you're highly welcome, Madam Favor L. Morris. Thank you so very kindly. We appreciate you. We want to say thank you so much for joining us. We want to say welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you. I know we want to say welcome also to Dorothy Dayu. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence here. It's a privilege for us to have you here. We want to say welcome to all of you. We appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. Thank you so very kindly. My people, something very wonderful and great will be happening here in the USA. And if you are a Seditian, if you are a Wiashin, we don't want you to miss this particular opportunity. Why is this particular event very important? And the location is very unique. As you may be aware, Pennsylvania will be the official site or the official state that will be hosting the 250th birth anniversary, independent anniversary of the United States of America. And the CDC will also be using that same location for her convention. In that particular convention, a lot of things will be happening. I mean, plenty of things will be happening. In the convention, we'll be coming together as family of the CDC USA or CDC to re-examine ourselves, to strategize, to recalibrate, to be able to rebrand ourselves. As you may be aware, the CDC USA is very cardinal to the CDC as an institution. And the recalibration is going to be starting here. In Pennsylvania, we will be sitting as a family. We'll be having earnest conversation where we need to improve, how we need to do it. Because from here, His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah will be going to Liberia with that new vigor, with that new strength to engage. So we are going to play our part. It's a privilege for us to see His Excellency in our convention. He's very busy. I mean, very, very busy. So for him to be part of this convention that will be held in Pennsylvania is going to be a great thing. So all of us prepare ourselves. You are going to have civilians coming from all over the states of the United States of America. They will be gathering in Pennsylvania. So it's going to be a very wonderful time. It's going to be a very great time. So please do not miss this. Be part of this particular unique event. Be part of it. And it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be very, very, very wonderful. So do not miss out on this. No, do not miss out on it. Get ready, be part of it, and don't listen to the distraction out there. Don't listen to the distraction out there. Thank you so very kindly to all of you. All of you are highly welcome. All of you. Helena Ba, how are you, Mama? Thank you so much. So there are a lot of distraction out there, but don't mind that. Don't mind that. So let me just give you a lineup of some of the things that will be happening there in the Pennsylvania area. So the Congress for Democratic Change, that's the CDC USA convention, will be from the 24th of June to the 28th of this particular year, 2026. His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah will be part of this convention. And it will be hosted in PA, Philadelphia. Will be hosted. So at this particular convention, we are expecting speakers, and amongst those speakers that will be part of the convention, we are supposed to have our tier 1 to tier 1 will be part of some of the panelists to be speaking on issues. We have Madam Piso Sedita, who will also be one of the speaker there, one of the guest speaker. We also have our own brother, Councillor Gamonde Clinton. Councillor Gamonde Clinton will be speaking at that particular convention. We also have our brother Emmanuel Cooper, Emmanuel Olan Cooper will also be speaking at that convention. At that convention, we also will be having our Samuel R. Jacobs. Samuel R. Jacob will also be one of the speakers at that particular convention. We have Mam Messi Kaba. Mam Messi Kaba will also be here for that convention. We will also be having Madam Asha Bolohawa. Madam Asha Bolohawa served as the cheerleader for the Women Week, so cheerleader emeritus of the Women's League. She will be part of that particular auspicious occasion. She will be one of the guest speakers there. We'll also have the Honorable Civicus Bazigia, who served as the port director of Bicana. He will also be there. There will be a lot of speakers. There will be a lot of speakers. Also, the global chair of the CDC USA, Anthony Augustus Janga Poho, will also be part of that convention. So it's going to be a wonderful time. A very, very wonderful time. At some point in time, we're going to have the committee will be coming up here, the convention committee, and also the officer in charge of the CDC USA, Reverend Moha. Reverend Moha will also be coming up, and we'll be interviewing him along the way. So Reverend Moha will be part of the platform. We are making some arrangement. The committee, they are very busy, but we'll be making some arrangement to ensure that we can have him here, to bring him on. So that we will be doing. So again, all of you get ready, prepare yourself, and it's going to be a very, very, very wonderful time. So again, we want to say, don't forget, save the date. Is going to be from the 24th to the 28th. So save the date and let's get ready. So let's play you this before jumping into our political issues. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to Nima, going to Senegal. Okay. Send the money. I pay 1,200 for my loan myself. So the people they get on power here, all of them are go home. For them to cancel and they face the car, they want to do it. We just die in your spirit. What am I out of that? We block the road. So you already pay your money to I pay my money.
All right, so the boohoo or the buahaha of the bosses. My people, let's straightly go into our issue. Again, we want to say welcome to all of you. Sam, we want to say thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so very kindly, all of you who are joining us. I'm going to play a clip here. I'm going to play a clip. I'm going to play this clip. It's very important that we play this clip, and I'm going to do it. Very, very important that we play this.
I'm very pleased to announce to the public that our president, His Excellency George Manuel Weah, has fulfilled his promise. Just a day after he made this promise, yesterday he paid a visit to Gibraltar, the community where he grew up in, and during that visit, he promised the dwellers, the residents of Gibraltar, that he will do a re-roofing of all of the homes in Gibraltar. And he asked them to look into the possibility of relocating for at least 5 months, because that's how long it would take for this project to be executed. But not so surprisingly, a day after this promise was made, we can see that the work has started today. They have started the re-roofing of some of the homes in the Gibraltar community. And this is not strange, because we have a firebrand, result-driven president, a president who believes in tangible, a president who is of more action and less talk. We see all over the place, all over the city, new developments going on owing to the president's promise. We just saw students came to appreciate the president for fulfilling his promise he made during the campaign period, that his government will absorb all of the wire fees. That has taken place. We see all over the city, the president instructed the finance minister to appropriate funds from the recast budget to ensure that 2,000 new street lights are installed all over Monrovia. Everywhere you drive at night, you see street lights, bright street lights all over the place. We see a lot of other developments taking place. We see, as I speak to you, the president is about to embark on a project to transform the entire West Point and other slum communities in rural Liberia, where he wants to change the huts.
Is this the beginning?
The huts to modern houses. This is just the beginning of great things to come.
Today we came to unroof the houses within this community, to unroof the houses within the community and then replace it with new ones. I mean, the zinc, the planks, anyone that is damaged or not befitting to be there, we take it off and put in the new ones.
Okay, so you are starting today, right?
Yeah, this is the first day.
Okay.
This is the first day.
Process?
It's fine, it's going on. I mean, as you can see, so it's okay. But in a day or two, you will see work being speeded up in a sense that, the start of everything is somehow a little bit difficult. We started, our main aim is to target about 2 or 3 houses in the daytime.
All right, sorry. So I want to say welcome to all of you. Kindly do us a favor, hit for us the share button. I want to ask you a question. Why was President Weah so concerned about the people? Why was President Weah so concerned about the people? Why was he concerned about the peace of Liberia? Why, whenever he spoke, or whenever he is speaking, he speaks about peace? I will play you another video. Just give me a minute. Sorry. I want to bring you something here. Let me play you this. I want to play you this.
Members of our party, leaders that we are sharing. Leaders institutions, and I believe that the diaspora Liberian should do this. Yes. Simply because I'm not here to represent myself. Yes. I came to represent our country and our people. Yes. Again, I say thank you. You left your busy schedule to to come here. We've been out there for hours in the rain, in the cold. Here we are. To end up in the hall. So that is important. But let me say to all of you, after the speech, I can inform you that Liberians around opposition, no position, in position, opposition. Everybody happy today. I think I am important.
All right, so I want to say, yeah, Emmanuel. I'm sure he's around. I'm sure he is around. I'm very sure he is around. But you know, he's around. I'm sure he's around.
As I
But I
said,
want to say thanks to all of you. I appreciate all of you. And there is a reason why we are doing what we are doing. And the reason why we are doing this is to provide you some information about what is obtaining in Liberia. Okay. Sorry. All right. So why was President Weah, thank you so much, Roland. We appreciate you. Why was President Weah so concerned about the peace? Whenever he had the opportunity to speak to his people, he always talked about the peace. I want to welcome Mommy Ball Gay. How are you, sir? I salute your presence. Why was President Weah so concerned about the peace? Why was President Weah so concerned about empowering his people? We are going to give you that information. So again, hit us the share button. Hit for us the share button. I am trying to do some other stuff here, bring some people on. So just bear with me. Let's come here.
In our own former president, we have he chose to accommodate everybody in the governing section. These are the people today that are serving us. The left of Warren Bryan. He was the spokesperson of MCC, making over 1,000 United States dollars. And the senior vice chair for operator for the United Party. He was the corporator in the system. While some of us are agitating, stay on the statutory bench. These are the same people today. Can you imagine every sector of government they have which one citizen? People even making 100 United States dollars, I can't even sustain them. They are wanting them. They have taken them off the page. Can you imagine that? And then heard us. But we say, this is a caveat. I told people I see you yesterday. There is a clear caveat. If the wind turn, we will point at some of you. You will never go with impunity. So then you say you told us, you make some people still believing that Samuel 12 told 25 million, and you don't ever to prosecute Samuel 12 or 25 million. You go on national security issue. Comrades, it is saddened. But bear in mind, some of you that done it and want it with a regime. They're weak and turn anytime. Thank you.
All of us listening to this young man venting out his frustration. What President Weah tried to avoid when he was president of the Republic of Liberia? There were several things. President Weah knew very well that from 14 years of civil unrest, carnage, and mayhem, you don't expect the people to just yield themselves without the requisite institution to help them. Every nation that fought war, they have a system in place that will be able to serve as a cushion to help to rehabilitate these people, to have programs in place that will be able to detoxify their minds. There are programs set in place by government to be able to help people, because 14 years of civil unrest is not just 14 days. There were people who were born in the violence and the mayhem. There were people who got mature in seeing violence. There were people who believed that the government is just, now working for them. So as a president, when he took over, especially with the absence of our international partners, the United Nations mission in Liberia, the UNMIL, President Weah needed to continue on the path of peace, security, and unity. So President Weah decided that, look, with all of the anger that these people have in their hearts, and we don't have the system to be able to ensure that these people get the requisite healing, let the government be that particular big medium that will calm people's tension down in the midst of all of these trouble or turbulence time. And that was the reason why we saw, fellow Liberians, His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah decided to talk to the police that, look, we can carry on everything. We can do anything that we want to do. But my people, let's be careful with our people. Let's take it easy. We cannot allow these people to go amok because of our action. So we saw on a daily basis, we saw President Weah doing everything to talk to the police. Let me answer this quickly while I bring my brother on. All right, so we want to welcome our brother Leo. Leo, salute your presence, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Prince. How are you, my brother?
Well, I am grateful. Thank you so much for your presence here. It's always a privilege for
Thank
us
you,
to,
thank you,
be on the platform together. Thank you, sir.
thank you, thank you. The week has been busy, but it's good to be here.
Definitely been
Yeah,
very
man.
busy. So
Let me
His
say good
Excellency
evening.
President, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let me say good evening to your listening audience, depending on where you're watching us from. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to say welcome to my brother Frederick Tenisi Nimne. You are highly welcome. Abraham Brown, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate all of you. His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah was able to contain the security forces in Liberia, the Liberian National Police, the army, etc., etc. Knowing very well that people who just coming from war, they are traumatized. You cannot use violence to correct the mistakes that we have. So we saw that when President Weah was president of the republic, the police, despite of everything that was going on, but President Weah was able to maintain his grip on the police. We saw police intervening when people were having protests to the extent that they would march with them. We saw that when people had the satisfaction with the system, the police were there with them, gave them water, and even talked to them. We saw the police director at the time, Patrick Sudu, even going on the street with street preaching, talking to people. But my brother Leo, we are observing something very different under this particular regime. The police has become brutal. The police has become very, very violent. The police are they are in fact worse than the Janjaweed militia that's operating in, how you call it, in the other country there. The police has now become basically a gangster in the hands of the Liberian people. If they are not committing another atrocity on the other side, they are beating people. If they are not beating people on the other side, all of the reports that we've read, from the international to the local, have talked about police brutality in Liberia. Tell me, my brother Leo, what has changed? And these are the same police officers who worked with His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah. And they were very calm, they were very collective, they were very understanding. They would march with protesters, they would give protesters food, they would go there and have friendly dialogue. But what has changed? That this police has now become a death squad under Joseph Nima Boyka. Look at what happened in Kinjor. We don't need to talk much about that. Look at what happened in Oro with our brother Martin Bolivar, who was shot 8 times in his stomach. Look at what the bunch of violence that is happening. My brother Leo, what has changed about this? And these are the same people. Let's hear from you, sir.
Prince, again, thank you. I'm more privileged to be on here. Look, Prince, what has changed? Leadership has changed. Leadership has changed. And the word leadership, a good leader was ousted. A good leader, a man for the people, was changed. And so they want, you see, every security apparatus is only good as the leader is good. You get it? The reflection of what the policing is from the chain of command. Who is Joseph Boakai? President Boakai is a criminal. Anybody who can croak somebody to take something from them, you are a criminal. You are textbook definition of a criminal. These are not my words, my brother. The man told us vividly from his own mouth that he was able to con somebody by feeding salt to goat. Prince, what has changed? A very good man in the person of Dr. George Weah, a man for the people. Prince, I remember those days when I would go to Liberia under His Excellency Dr. George Manneh Weah regime. Police officers were smiles on their faces, my brother. The country was hard at the time. Let's be frank. Let's call it. But the reflection of George Weah spread a hoover over the country, right? Who is George Weah? The man was about the people. You saw everywhere. Like I said, it was not all gravy. But you saw, look, talk about the people back in the day. Go in the market. Happiness was in the place. I'm talking about total joy was in the place. Police officers will talk to you. Police officers will see you holding your stuff. They will come there. But today, the whole country is in a state of anarchy. The whole country is just mad, Prince. Everybody's just angry. Police that are supposed to be there to be friends. Look, the actual definition of a police to be friends with the people. But to this police, in Boakai's police, Boakai has so prioritized the police and made the police Boakai's police. And these guys, you're not even paying these guys on time, and yet you want to restrict them to. So what you expect these guys to do, Prince? I am not trying to qualify some of the crooked attitude and what you're doing to criminalize the position. That's not what I'm trying to do. But look, the leader already is on me, Papi. You remember those days, George Weah would even get down, walk in the street, shake hands with the police officers. I saw that. Can a Boakai get down from his car, shake hands with police officers? No. George Weah was the man for the people. He was the man about the people. Boakai is not the man for the people. Have you seen George Weah in the marketplaces? One time, I think he stabbed the people just to back home. And the police officer, everybody waving. Prince, it was not all roses. But when the leader is with the people, connect with the people, policing becomes easy. When the leader connects with the people in Dr. George Manneh Weah, look, that Dr. George Manneh Weah didn't need to go places with security because the people became human magnets, people shield, and so policing was very easy. Today, if a Joseph Boakai is going out, all the police then I mean, it's hard. They're not getting even paid on time, my brother. So what they revert to, they start to treat people, they try to maltreat people. They try to steal. They become more criminal. They become, look, the police in today's Liberia are the most, they are the worst criminals, my brother. So what has changed? A good leader, a man for the people. That's what changed. And that is not fair to the Liberian people, my brother. That is not fair to the Liberian people.
Well, you know, you said what has changed is leadership. And I want to believe you. I want to take it from there. You know, the leader sets the tone for the country. That's why he is the head of state. When somebody say the head of state, or when you know, whoever that coined that word refer to the president as the head of state, it is deep. It's very deep. It means that it is that man that drives the agenda for the state. The way people behave in the state can be reflected in his behavior, in that person's behavior. He can guide the discussion. He can ensure why it is true. It's not everybody will go his way, but the way he will behave will be an example to how other people are supposed to behave. I'll give you an example. When His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah became president, his agenda was to ensure that the people are protected. His agenda was to ensure that the people agenda comes first. And that's why he said, this is the pro-poor agenda, an agenda for the poor. We saw President Weah making so many interventions. When a whole community was gutted by fire in the Nukuta area, His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah went there and said, look, we must not leave our people alone. We must be with them in these difficult times. And he was able to make intervention. We saw what happened in Sinko when there was a whole community, almost about 100 plus persons, they were affected. His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah went there, provided means for these people, and even built an area where they would be until they can get themselves settled. We saw President Weah carry on buildings in all of our counties so as to be able to absorb the shock, to the extent that people were even surprised. The videos are here where some said this is the first time to see a president coming down to them in the village to identify with them.
The man for
but
the
today,
people.
What we are seeing is completely different. It's completely different. We are seeing an old man that is very vindictive. We are seeing an old man that doesn't care about the people. We are seeing an old man who, you know, his own agenda is to ensure that the people continue to cry. That is what we are seeing under this particular, regime of Joseph Numa Boyka. Under this regime of Joseph Numa Boyka, we are seeing total abandonment of the people. We are seeing that the people has now become victim of their own vote. Yesterday, what we saw projects that were initiated by President Weah in order to give people hope. And I don't want you to believe what I'm saying. I want to bring something here for people to see and for people to watch it. Let's bring this here and play this.
The Weah-led government has prioritized infrastructure development as one of its utmost deliverables to the Liberian people. Key among such infrastructures is affordable housing that is intended to lift people out of poverty, as the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment LACE continues to to construct proper housing for impoverished community dwellers, the National Housing Authority, the NHA, has been engaging investors to erect housing for the people since the ownership of over 2,000 houses that previous governments built have been transferred to the inhabitants.
For the National Housing Authority, previously it has been, I think, 7 decades. Since its inception, they built only 2,180 houses, all of the assets combined together. So President Weah sent me here in June of 2019. And in 2019, in 6 months from June to December, we had signed into contract 96,000 houses.
The commitment of 96,000 houses is at the value.
Now, I just want to stop this here, brother. This was the plan of President Weah, to build a housing unit for these people. Today, we are seeing something contrary. This government is destroying instead of building. This government have not put out a one buffer. Now, tell me what President Weah envisioned at the time when he was building this housing unit for these people. Tell me what was in the mind of President Weah, my brother Leo, when he was building all of these housing units, across Liberia, across all over the county. What was in his mind? What was he thinking about?
Please, you can only give to people what you have and what you may have experienced. Now let's talk about what George Weah was thinking. A man who has traveled around the world, my brother, who has seen development firsthand, who said, I knew where I came from. I came from the bottom of the bottom. I came from the slum. And God first, but having been able to be opportune to be in France, Italy, and of course, New York, you name it. He said, I want this for Liberia. He said, no, I will not be satisfied until some of this can come to Liberia. So you saw what the lady said. It was supposed to be total 96,000 homes, for which 2,000 was already built. Montserrado and around the other sub-regions around Liberia. So it takes a developmental mind like George Weah, who has seen it all, to bring back to Liberia what he has seen. So the guy who is breaking down now, please, are you there? Something is playing. Yeah, there's a play. Okay. So the guy who is breaking down now, right? Look, this guy has nothing. He has not seen anything, my brother. Where is President Bouakai? Thank God for Madam Ellen. So you see, like I just said, what the Liberian people change is leadership. Leadership comes in packages. Leadership comes in good quality governance. That's what George Weah was about to provide for Liberia. Leadership comes in development. You saw the PHP. When you remember the time when George Weah said, oh, I will make Monrovia to be Little Miami. The local, small-minded United Partisans, they didn't understand. But until they started seeing the development. Now, that PHP Park, I went there before the development started. That place was a dumpster. There was a dump for what we call Pupu Pa. And after my brother Chokonkwi laid the foundation under the supervision of His Excellency Dr. George Manneh Weah, I knew straight that this was going to be a beautiful place. And we saw it. Let's go back to the investable park. Look, Prince, I say a good leader is one who is a visionary. George Weah, you saw where that investable park used to be. It used to be a slum. He didn't just take the people out. What he did, he relocated them, respect their rights, gave them a befitting home free of charge. So what is our president doing? He is making over 2,000 people homeless. George Weah brought 2,000 homes. This president said, I will make 2,000 people homeless. Today, Prince, I'm talking the rape cases that's in Liberia now because of homelessness. I'm talking about the children that has dropped out from school because of homelessness. I'm talking about the poverty, children that are selling in the street when the president promised that under my watch, there will not be children selling on the streets. Today, Prince, That number has skyrocketed. It has soared to the highest.
All right.
I'm talking babies.
Labyrinth TV Network. I'm here.
Babies under 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old are selling in the streets. Today I was watching one of the other Lagos folk guy. I don't know, that biker boy hit her, folk got broken and whatnot. I mean, it's just sad. So what has changed? A quality leadership has changed. A quality leadership has changed, Prince, and it is sad for our people. It is sad for our people. Development is far from Liberia. Break down all you can break down. It takes a visionarian who has traveled far and wide to say, you know what, Liberia must be this. And that's what His Excellency Dr. George Manneh Weah intended to do. Welcome, my brother Elton. That's what that is.
Pleasure. My greatest pleasure.
Yeah, a lot has changed, man. A lot has changed, man.
Thank you, fellow Liberians. We are grateful to have with us our brother, Elston, the legend Wise. You know, he's one of our brother that is always trending there in the comment section and always calling. And we are grateful today to have him on as we discuss issues relative to Liberia. You know, he has sometimes, you know, on issue, a very different opinion on it. But we appreciate the fact that he will always, you know, call in, weigh in his points. And I think in order for us to build a better Liberia, or in order for us to project a Liberia that all of us can live in the same space and have different of opinion, you know, on issues, I think these are things that we must encourage. And it must start from us, the diaspora. And this is what President Weah have taught us over the period, that we don't have to be enemies even when we have difference of opinion. That's why you saw when he became president, he invited other people who did not agree with him. Like, for example, Madam Cecilia Coffee Brown, who said, if four is better than ye. Madam Mary Brown, who broke down, you know, a statue and said all kinds of things about him. He included all of these people because his interest was about Liberia and not about him. So today we are grateful. And, you know, on this platform, we try to replicate the same here. And we are grateful to have our brother with us, you know, our brother Elston, the legend Wise. My brother, this is your debut appearance, so let's give you the time to actually introduce yourself to your people.
Welcome, Wise. Welcome. This is your person, my brother.
My greatest pleasure. Firstly, thanks for your patience, Prince. And I'm going to make a full disclosure. I come from a sports background. Before, I always tell people, before I could know myself, my dad was taking me into ATS to watch IE play. He was a huge IE fan, and I followed right in his footsteps. So that would tell you that before I could know myself, I was watching Liberia's and Africa's, in my opinion, which is a different subject for a different day, the great George Weah. I was watching him play before I could even know what soccer meant. And then I grew up in that same light, and I went to school, became a journalist, earned a degree in mass communication, and I went straight into sports, and I was doing sports both on radio and TV in Liberia prior to coming to the U.S. 2007. So I have some strengths with George Weah, considering he's an IE player. He played for Lone Star, and I tell people to this day, I hold the record for the youngest broadcaster post-war, after the war, that where post-war is, after the war, to broadcast a Lone Star game both on TV and radio in Liberia. And I'm proud to say at the Samarkand Sports Complex, I broadcast, if people remember, 2006 game between Liberia and Cameroon, the great Cameroon, when Sangre Gobert, Samuel Eto'o, all those guys were on the team. Jeremy G-Tap, I was there. And the game between Liberia and Senegal with El Hadji Diouf and the likes, Lone Star versus Senegal, and several big games. I was doing sports in Liberia, and I had to cap it off. I had the privilege of broadcasting. If you all remember, 2006, there was an African Cup, and then it was followed by a World Cup. I was privileged to be the one presenting it on George Weah Cloud TV. Yes, 2006. Everyone remember me. I used to go sit on Kerry Street at a tire shop, and it'll be that's the picking who are talking the sports on the TV just now, George Weah station. So, I'm proud to say that I'm a huge sports fan. But in terms of politics, I tell people I'm taking a neutral stance, and I try to speak objectively. Meaning if I criticize George Weah, then I'm going to criticize why I see wrong. And if I don't see it, somebody call it out, I'm going to say it. So that's just basically me. I live in the USA right now, and I'm in a healthcare setting. You know, when you move, life take a different trend. And I'm an electrocardiogram technologist. If for lack of a better way of saying it in Liberian terms, I'm a brain technician or neuro technician. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother Elston. It's always a privilege for us to have people like you, on the platform. And we really appreciate your calls, your comments, your critical takes on national issue. We really appreciate it. Your presence, have added some level of value to what we do.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So we are looking at the first issue. Of recent, I'm very sure you've been following with the series of demolition exercises that is going on in Liberia, especially Monrovia and its environment. And the sad thing about it is that some of these people who are victims, they bought those areas. They bought it. Some of them did not just go to take over and, they bought it with their money. And today, after living there for some people for 20, 30, some 40, even some 50 years, somebody is now saying today, the house is for them, the land is for them, and they are destroying people's property. I want to play a video here before, I can ask you for us to talk about this. I want to play a video here so we can see this from one of the victims of this demolition exercises that is going on in Liberia and how people, are affected. I want to play a video here for us, and then we can then discuss on this. So I'm sorry, just bear with me. Sometimes, we gotta be multitasking. Yeah,
my brother, we said, are you member of the free position?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, and I was gonna bring in something to add. And let me make another clarity. I never worked at George Weah Station. I was taken there to do sports during the African Cup and the World Cup. So I'm glad I made that disclosure. I worked at Power TV. I worked at Crystal, that used to be owned by Charter and became independent station. So yeah, no, I'm a member of the free position, not as in with membership, but I'm meeting a free mindset.
No. I'm looking at the free position where your the head of your party is someone in jail now. We know the guy. If that's the same position.
No, Prophet is a free position. I'm a free position, but I'm not a member of that free position. I have a free mindset about Liberia.
There you go. I wanted that clarity.
Thank you. All right. So thank you. Thank you so very much. Let's go here and then bring this for our brother to listen. Let's go here and bring.
Yeah. Okay. And your host also playing a role in the process.
Yes.
So how do you feel about this whole process that has been carried on?
I feel bad because I'm more on the horses and the girl. When I went on and I'm paid for all to go to school, when I go to school, then they can't break our horses and nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. Sleeping in school building there. In a school building, so now when I sleep, I was sleeping on the kitchen and the places now was sleep.
You currently go to school?
Yes.
Which school?
I go to Koramwasi.
Your class?
Stage grade.
Okay. Is there anyone else again want to face?
I want to stop this here. This is just from a child's perspective. He's giving out the reality, telling us how he's sleeping, on a market table and his home had been destroyed and etc. I'm very sure you saw the video of, parents crying. Someone who all through his life have worked, have built this place, and now he's in an old age where he can't even afford the money that he could afford yesterday to build that house. What is your own take on all of these demolition exercises that's going on in Liberia?
Me or Leo? Me?
No, you.
Oh, certainly. Listen, I'm a realist first. And when as a person, as a human, when you become level-headed, you have to have discernment. So when you see something happen to another human being, place yourself in their shoe. Tell yourself, what would I have done if it were me? Would I be happy or would I be sad? Of course, the answer is I will be sad. If somebody broke my home down, I will certainly be sad, especially if they didn't give me prior notice to leave the place or compensation to leave. I would definitely be sad. So I've placed myself in the shoes of those people and share in their feelings. I empathize with them greatly. But let's face the harsh reality. The government has to step in to some extent to compensate them, to have them placed in places to alleviate the plight of finding homes to stay in. It's unsafe, firstly, for people to lay on the street. Like I saw people languishing on the side of the road, sleeping. That is so unsafe. Anybody can harm or innocent child in that way easily, you know. But the harsh reality here is, my brother, let's face this. If the government had done due diligence and secure places for those people, I will be in 100% accord with the government, because Monrovia cannot persist to be that way. We cannot keep the city overcrowded. That is our country's capital. It is because of war. A lot of people migrated from their different counties and in a way of finding jobs, seeking jobs. That's why they move to Monrovia. And displacement from war in different parts of the country. You know, during our war, we have different kinds of fracas. One minute the war will break out in Grand Bassa, or break out in Lofa, and people will just leave their home like that and move to Monrovia or move to wherever was safer for them. So I'm not against the government breaking down homes, but it has to be done with a mindset of humility. You have to feel people's plight. So the government is right. They have to make the city livable. They have to make Monrovia look good. And Monrovia, to be honest with you, I left 2007. I've been back twice. I was there in 2017, George Weah's tenure, and I was there 2017, Ellen, sorry, and 19, George Weah's. So the place doesn't look decent. We look at Ghana every day. We praise Ghana. We praise Ivory Coast. We praise other countries we've been to. Thankfully for me, I live in the U.S. and I've traveled extensively. I've been to a few East African countries. I've been to a few West African countries, and I see how the people are progressing. And Liberia is not at all. The oldest independent country is Liberia. Think about it. So the government must make the city better, but they must do it in a refined way. They must do it in a way that they don't appear that they are against their own people. Because how do you ascend to power? Those same people who you are taking their homes from. Is it right to clean the place up? Is it right to make the country and the city to look like a city, make it livable? Yes, it is. But in so doing, you have to have a fine balance so that the people don't feel like you are against them. So that would be my take. And always think about countries first when you speak on these issues. Don't post sentiments. That's why I always try to tell our brother Jake. I wish Jake was on the show today for my debut. But another time, I know you'll bring me on.
You engage with Jake.
So, my brother Leo, you're listening to our brother Elston. He's not, against that. But what he's saying is that government needs to put in place the mechanism. If you know that you are carrying on this process, adequately inform the people, have a kind of alternative, where people can be able to, quickly find themselves somewhere. Or he talked about the issue of compensation and the rest of it, knowing very well that these people did not just go and grab the land. Most of them, they didn't just go to get grab land and say, they land here for me, they fight for a war, that my own property here, they bought it with their money. What is your own take? Let's hear you say.
Prince, why I concur with my brother to some extent. Again, my brother, welcome once again. But Prince, look, let me tell you, this from this act, the president and his regime, right, just exposed themselves even more. Because I remember during the Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah tenure, when he started all of these different developments going on. Look, let me tell you, my brother, what you see going on now is not new. This was all in the plans of His Excellency, former President Manuel Weah. What happened is this Unity Party was saying, oh, that road we will eat, oh, that homes, that park we will eat, and so on and so forth. Why now, when they are seated, they started to carry on. But what this tells me that it is the ill preparedness of the government. Look, if you know you are going to build a home somewhere, or going to carry out road development somewhere. Now, I'm an architect, by the way. I design structures, right? Within my work that I do here. One of the things you do is you prepare the place. If you are going to carry out development somewhere, there's what is called advertisement within a location. You advertise. A government like Liberia, you have the radio, you have the TV. Let the people know your plan. I'm talking about serious-minded government now. You let the people know your plan, priest. Look, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Let the people get the message. So when you start breaking, you will not look like, oh, the people didn't know. And to some extent, some of our people can be stubborn too. But in this case, the people woke up one morning, my brother, and saw that their homes were being broken down by the very same police. Now you tell me, what serious-minded government is this? Why we all want development? But you cannot subject our people to homelessness because I want to develop. No, it doesn't happen that way. There are placards. You're supposed to use social media. Now the youth that are running Liberia, everybody got phone, everybody will see the information, but this didn't happen. So how will somebody tell me when Leo said that as a citizen, to say this is wrong for the people, then somebody will tell me, oh, I'm wearing party hat. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, with this singular act by the president demolishing homes, look at the teenage pregnancy that's going on now. I mean, so it's just wrong in all places. It's just wrong.
Thank you, Leo. My brother, we say you've worked with young people. I mean, from back home, you especially being in the area of sport, definitely attract a lot of young people. Do you think that this has what we call a social consequences on our population? Looking how very young, our population is. Do you think it has a social consequences on the population? Let's hear from you on that, sir.
It certainly does. And these things have to be taken seriously. Think about it like this, hypothetically. You take a young family or a family with young people in it from their homes, and they have to get displaced. Maybe the mother will say, oh, I'll go and stop with my best friend. And the father will say, I will take my boy and one of the girls to another friend. And you don't know the living condition to those places they're taking the people. The children could be, they stand a risk of being molested, on a risk of being exposed to other different things. Different people do things differently in their homes. So that's an easy way to expose them to that. But listen, Leo, to be realistic with you, I think I said it better, and it couldn't have been said any clearer. The government is totally right to make the city to appear livable. People cannot continue to live in shanty homes in a capital city. There's almost nowhere in the world today you see people live the way our people live in Monrovia. That city, the amount of people that is occupying Monrovia today is way above what Monrovia should be. I mean, the people have exceeded living a number of people that should dwell in the capital. The place is too small, and the people have built, and there is no layout to the city. So, I mean, you see in recent time, whenever there's a fire outbreak, the amount of homes that get affected by the fire is because of how poor the place looks. So it's not a bad thing for them to make it to appear nice or make it appear like a city, but the way it was done, it was wrong. So come to think about it, let me tie it in with something else. Being the person that I am, think about the CDC when you all were in power and them still started to come against you for his property. I kept saying, even if you want your property, like in the great United States, when you want something from somebody, you will get them prior notice. And fortunately, Jake appears to be here. You give them prior notice, and the person will know that it's ought to leave at a certain time. Then after that, 60 days, 90 days, wherever the case may be, that person will vacate your premises. If they do not vacate your premises, then you have all legal right to either pursue them through the court or through whoever you leasing the property from, or through whatever agency that is governing that property. But it has to be done the right way. Though it is not a bad thing, but it was done in a way that affects our people. And for me, I would speak for Liberian people. I would tell people I would never join a political party in Liberia or even in the US, because people who align themselves to a party more or less, for lack of a better word, appear like slaves to the party. And here's why I say that. Take, for instance, Mr. X want to run on Joe Brown party. If Mr.
I would respectfully want to disagree with you, my brother, but that's your opinion.
That's the beauty of the
will let him just land.
Thank you. I love that. I love the disagreement. That's the beauty of the interaction. The interaction, as we say. So if Mr. X is a member of Joe Brown's party, and he's the one they are putting forth as the candidate for Montserrado County representative, I am a member of Joe Brown party. I most than likely expect to vote for Mr. X. But then Mr. L has a very questionable character, but he's in our party, and we know it. But Mr. Williams at a different party is best suited for the job, but he's not in our party. More than likely, everybody will be saying, Elston, leave that objectivity and vote for Mr. Joe because he's in our party. You see how it becomes dicey, it becomes very tricky. So I'd rather go for what the person has, the ideology of the person, than to just conform to just a party. I'm typically the president, I'm not just going to conform. I want you to tell me what you ought to do and how you've lived your life. Like for instance, today I'm going to state on your platform because a lot of people watch you guys' platform. I'm going to call today for the speaker, Richard Coon. I will say it openly. I'm maintaining objectivity. Everything that I say, I think he should resign. That's another case right there. What we're trying to tie in. He has a questionable club now. He has a questionable character. He's been aligned with so many things that are not reflective of such a high position in the country. You see every day. If you're not one lady who were on Prophet Key Show the other day, it's another lady who's on Spoon TV. And that kind of character, if he was part of CDC, you all will be forced to vote for him if you are vying for a senatorial post today. Versus, let's put Richard Coon down today, and I would just throw a name out of the clear blue. And let's say Mariah Yakula of ANC, you put two of them down to run for senatorial job, and Richard Coon was from CDC, and Mariah was from ANC. A lot of people who are seditious will vote for Richard Coon, even though Mariah has little to nothing new about her in terms of being questionable character, but Richard Coon is a questionable character because why you all who are aligned with CDC want to vote for your own choice.
Thank you. Before we go to Leo, let me just ask you this question. Do you have any relationship or you have any admiration for the Vice President Jeremiah Coon in any way? Are you aligned to his? Yeah.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Jerry, I see him as the Vice President of Liberia. No question about it. As far as alignment, I would say no, because I think my allegiance, to be honest with you, were more to Joseph Boakai. Like I said, I've never joined any party. I'm not a UPist. But when the CDC government came to power, in 2 years, I get job. We are 2 years before I started to critique the government. If like that, you give somebody a job, you have to give them time to do the job. The same thing with the government today. I've already started criticizing this government. Amin Moda, I have called him out. He stole from our country, bought a flashy car, overpriced car, considering we brought them to power. That's an affront to all who brought them to power. He stole from us, and then he just resigned. The government should investigate him and incarcerate him. So,
thank you.
That's the kind of person I will criticize.
Let me just tell you, thank you. The reason why I asked the question, because many people feel and think that those who are coming down high on the speaker have some political alignment with the vice president and what have you. That's why I asked. But thank you so much.
For me, not by any stretch of the imagination. I just speak the truth, and I speak truth to power. I will criticize my own.
Thank you so much. My brother Leo, let's hear from you. Our brother Wisa said, it appears as if when you are aligned with a political institution, you become almost like a slave, etc., etc., and you take an exception to that. But let's hear from you.
I strongly take an exception to that because first of all, you have individual differences within a party. You will not have me, a sound educated man like me, will see a coach, for example, a young man who has risen to higher heights, right? Try to obtain and then saw himself as a mayor. If he does wrong, I'm going to take a party say, I will not be party. No, I will go to him. I will condemn him. I will critique him. And this is what we do at CDC. But a lot of people don't know because they also say, But let me tell you something. And based on what you just said, that description, I would take CDC out of it and just put Unity Party there because it just displayed out itself just this week. When you saw everybody wore yellow. So I think you are speaking to that slave mind of everyone coming under a goggle and saying, yes, I will not be a free thinker. I'm not going to critique something because why? I have to use my sense of reasoning. But no, everything goes. No. So let's look at the speakers, the two speakers. You look at a man, a fine person that we just took out. That means that the majority of the house just took out in Fonati Kofa. and look at who they replaced him with. So that's why I'm having sort of differences with your comments, right? We knew who the candidate that we presented. You can never question the character of Fonati Kofa with that of Richard Kun. It will not fit in the same sentence. Fonati Kofa is a learned man, one, a man with decent character, a man who has tried to say, you know what, I'm going to put aside all of my mistakes aside and do well by the Liberian people. Look, this guy is not only a disciplined lawyer, but you will never put Richard Kun close to the reputation of that of Fonati Kofa. So again, I try hard to understand where you're coming from, but then again, you just saw it. You just made a point for me because you said you align with this president, Joseph Boakai. So I see where you're coming from, my brother. I understand.
Thank you so much, my brother Elston.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I want
what you just said.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excellent. Well, Leo, I'm going to tell you this: if the person who I am, the realist that I am, if you gave me today, if you gave me Kun and gave me Kofa, I would take Kofa. You were playing with somebody who tell it as it is, and I always brag about it. I've never worked in government in my life. I worked privately as a reporter, as a journalist, and today I work privately in the U.S. So I always tell people I speak against anyone in Liberia freely, even the ones that I support. I will speak against them. So if you gave me Kun and gave me Kofa, I would take Kofa today. But it doesn't mean Kofa doesn't have a questionable character. He certainly do, but he's a better character than Kun. So let's keep him 100. I would not shy away from countering anything. Kofa has his own class darkness. You know what I mean. You know where I'm headed to, but we'll leave it at that and just tell it as it is.
Kofa, thank you so very kindly.
Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. You said you support, this president's agenda for a better Liberia and that which, we respect. But I want to play something here and I want you to have your take on it. One of the issues that people beat on the previous government for, which is, government that we support, was this issue of corruption. Even though at a certain point in time, it became a perception and not a reality, because there were people who said President Weah took 16 billion, carried to a house and put a continuum, the rest of the other story, etc., etc. And other people accused government officials and etc. But President Boakai said something when he appeared on VOA, and I want us to listen before I can ask my question.
Start by making sure those people that we bring to cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known, the purpose of coming to government, to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear.
I'm going to stop here and I'm going to start this with you, my brother Elston. You're listening to Mr. Boakai, who said, I'm going to bring on board credible people. I'm going to bring on board people who are competent, people who will not do the same thing our people cry off, in the past. This is going to be different. Now, this leads us to what you said about the issue of Ame Moda and etc., etc. There are more people. For example, what took place at LRRC, where refugee that came from Ghana, it was observed that officials at LRRC had the names of other people who had never been out of the country and gave these people, and the actual people did not receive. We saw recently an audit was conducted by the GAC where almost $100 million, not $100,000, but $100 million, according to the GAC that was appointed by, this government, said that money was missing. There were no trace, no paper, no nothing. And the Ministry of Finance could not even explain told the GAC relative to what is happening. We are hearing corruption act of almost about $80 or so million from LPRC, a very young man, and etc., with all of these corruption charges. What is your take on what is happening, especially with this government relative to the issue of corruption?
You know, I'm glad you are attentive listener, Prince. I did mention Amin Muda, one of the biggest affront to those who brought this government to power, people like us who were on Spoon late night pretty much on a nightly basis. And the reason why, since I started with that, stating that, you know, I'm one of those who supported this government, never a part of the UP party. The reason why is when we saw after 2 years, when I started to criticize the WIA-led government, we saw the end result. The last election, they were running for power for a second term. They were not granted. That tells you that things weren't as fine as they should be. So the people opted to go for an octogenarian or older man, Joseph Boakai. So I kind of align with that ideology that, you know what, Liberia is like a puzzle. We're trying to figure it out. So we got to keep trying until we get it right. And that's why with the mindset that I have, the next election, 2029, you will be surprised. I'm not going to be supporting Boakai with my voice. I will be in Liberia 2028 ahead of that election, and I will be calling for a new person. May it be Councillor Gonglo, Mr. Cummins, and here is why. We keep trying to find the right parts for the puzzle, and that's what I want. Somebody who have not had the opportunity to get a shot at it. Boakai will be mid-octogenarian. He'll be in mid-80s by the time 2029 comes around. I think George Weah have had his chance. And in my estimation, George Weah has nothing to prove to Sedition or myself or anybody born on Liberian soil because he's accomplished everything in his life. This man is a Ballon d'Or award winner in 1995. There has not been anybody born on the continent of Africa. Because when I talk sports about him, I get very passionate because I love him dearly when it comes to sports. 1995 Ballon d'Or award winner. Think about it, Prince. 1995, George Weah won Ballon d'Or. No one has achieved such feat. Samuel Eto'o, the great player, Didier Drogba, Mohamed Salah, you name them. None of them have ever achieved that feat since 1995. George Weah did so. He won African Best. George Weah was named Arthur Ashe recipient by the great United States of America. You know who received that award among the Black community? George Weah was once upon a time UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. I might have put a picture with he and myself were doing an interview with him when he did his something on LBDI Bank in Liberia. I'm sending it to you so you can put it on the screen. The young journalist with my dog tag. So I get very passionate when I talk about him. So after 2 years, when I saw how you were going, that's how I opted for Boakai. And I think Boakai is trying, but like I said, you put the people there to work for government and you don't have their hearts. You depend on their honesty, but some of them are not going to be honest. Look at the like of Muda. You mentioned that. I think that's when the government should step in and Boakai should step in and try to investigate people to make them accountable so that we cannot continue the culture of impunity. People have to pay for their wrongdoing. That's the part. That's the problem I have with this president. Somebody cannot just resign after buying luxurious car with country money and you just leave it at that. Go after them. The same way you've gone after what Bonnie Wilmer paid today. I think he's going to be incarcerated for 5 years or so, or have to make some restitution. But the same way you're going after them, go after everybody. That's what my objectivity and my instinct kicks in, that people have to be fair to themselves. You say you are coming to make a difference. Go ahead and make a difference. This is year 2 of this government. I'm going to be tagging the two of you. Anytime I write against them, I tag my friend Civica Basigia. You see the guy that's right behind George Weah? He's like a brother to me. We sleep in the same bed before in the past. He's like a brother to me, but he knows I hold a different position politically. So he calls me different name, but there's a love between he and I. We have love between us, but we don't see eye to eye politically because I'm sitting on a different side of the aisle. And I always remind you, I say, this is life. Your own twin brother is on that side of the aisle. But this is like, but we don't, we don't mix our love for each other, with the politics. We go there, but I always remind him the love that I have for him. And one of the good thing about George Weah government, he empowered a lot of young people. And my friend, brother Civica Basigia, was one of those. He was sent to Buchanan Post, and he did extremely well. So many people, my friend and brother who I play basketball with, James Imaya Porter, we talk and text. I call him right now. He will answer if he's not sleeping. He played for Barrow. I play for Don Bosco Legend. We play in the Premium Basketball League. I play basketball and soccer very well too. And tell you. So yeah. So I interact with them, but we're on different side of the aisle. So we just respect one another.
So before we go to our brother Leo, or like you said, you are not aligned with any political party, but you believe in the ideology of Joseph Numa Boyka. Are you been contacted, paid, or maybe somebody will say, to some extent, in somebody corner, for which you that supported Mr. Boyka is now becoming very critical of his style of leadership? Are you being paid? Has anybody talked to you in the corner about any political alignment? Don't you think that one will say it's unfair for you to judge Mr. Boyka the way you are judging him?
Okay. So remember from the first word in the statement out of my mouth, it's all about putting country first. I said I am not a part of UP, but I thought an elderly statesman like Boyka would have come and made a whole lot of difference. So whenever he was given a job, like I did during the last government of CDC, I gave him enough time. Like if you give someone a job, you want to give them time to perform. After a lengthy period or reasonable time, then you start to be firm and start to point out their wrongdoings. So that's the case right now. Let me start to name some things, starting with the one of this government, so you can know how fair. And to answer your question, no one. I have a lot of close friends in this government.
So we'll come back to that for you to. We'll come back to that for you to. But let me just give you 30 seconds for you to answer this question. Let me give you 30 seconds to answer this question. Don't you think that your assessment of this government in the third year going to the fourth year is unfair? Judging, looking at the period, that we find ourselves in economically, don't you think it's unfair?
No, it's not. I have a lot of friends that supported CDC when I started to critique George Weah government. The second year, they know I said it. I said in the second year, I will start to be critical of George Weah because that's enough time to prove yourself. And the same with this government. In the second year, I just started the few days to write against the government because that's good enough time. After this, then much time left for 2029. It will be here shortly. So when we are going to critique them and call them out.
Okay, so let's go to our brother Leo. My brother Leo, you listening to Mr. Boyka when he appeared on the VOA.
Yeah.
We're not going to do the same thing, that people did. We are going to, etc., etc. And you're listening to our brother Elston Wisse. Let's hear from you. What is your take of that statement of Mr. Boyka? Do you think that, he is actually living up to what he said? That is, we'll not do things the different. We'll bring on board professionals. It will not be business as usual. Let's hear from you, sir.
Michael Jackson has a song that's called Smooth Criminal. Smooth Criminal. You know that song? People, you see, Boyka is a good talker, but not a good doer. That's the difference between he and George Weah. George Weah is a doer, and he just don't talk much. You see, I saw Boyka says one thing, does another. Okay? Everything that Boyka critique or criticized in the previous government, he's done it on steroids. He's done it times 2. What am I saying? My brother alluded to the fact that, the guy came and, put aside, without case with his car issue. Even the very president who said, I will ride wheelbarrow, wrote on an expensive...
that was just literally speaking.
Well, don't do that, because now our Liberian people, how our society is. They will hold you per what you say. But you see, let me just talk to my brother. My brother is a very decent guy, and I know what happened to him. Like George Weah's son there, somebody pissed him off. So he took a bag and said, no, I'll go home. But the brother will come back home, my brother. You will come back home. Whoever did that to you will come back home. Well, you're a very smart brother, very bright brother. But let me tell you talk about country first. Somebody asked me just this week, Prince, and I'm going to send the video to you. Said, of all the candidates that are running now that I know for the presidency, who will you choose? Why am I supporting George Weah? And my brother spoke of country first. Of all of the candidates that I've seen so far now, maybe you can help to correct me. You got the Cummings. You got Musa Hassan Belede, my own big brother. You got George Weah. Again, I will put His Excellency Joseph Boyka there. I'm not going to go to Jeremiah because the papier still saying he's going to run. Of these 4 candidates, my brother, tell me when it comes to putting country first, amongst those four, who will I choose? I will put George Weah first because the record has been proven. During our Civil War, we all know the story. I'm not going to go to it. The only man that could bring ceasefire to Liberia, when Alexander Cummings, who had all of the accolade of being in the private sector and has done that, will refuse to go to Liberia. A man who only say the only way I can help Liberia is to become the president. I'm not going to start from a senatorial position. I'm not going to start from a representative position. For me, those are criminal minded. Those are criminal mindset. Because why? The only way I can help my people is like a pastor telling me, say, oh, I cannot be a member of 50 people. I cannot pastor over 50 people. I can only pastor over 200 people. That people, I got a question. Musa Hassan Benete, look, a man who left from under the same Cummings man. Now again, I will not critique Musa Hassan Benete because I know the big brother. I know his system. I know what he's trying to do. So when we talk about putting country first, amongst all of the names,
tell us what he's trying to do. We want to know. Tell us what he's trying to do, Hassan.
No. Look, I have spoken to the big brother. He's just testing the water for later days, and you're a smart man, so you know that. Okay, so that's what it is. But George Weah, who has proven. And where I really want to hold my brother also in 30 seconds here, you said you criticized George Weah in his 2 years, after 2 years of his regime, rather. It was in his region, right? So we know he ascended. Okay, he won the election 2017. 2018, he started. 2018, then 2019, COVID started. And COVID lasted, crippled the whole world for almost 2 years plus. Within that solid 2 years, he rose up to be one of the #1 champion of COVID within the African sub-region. The records are there. So you started your critique of the president, which was not even fair around that time, per your own analysis and calculation. I want you to see what you said. I'm just quoting from what you said. So you were not even fair to the brother, not giving him chance around that time. So now everything eclipsed for what the other people did to you, your own brother, who all of us slept on the same bed. That's a elaborate thing. So you need to come back home, my brother. You're fine.
Don't malign my brother. He didn't do anything to me. We just don't agree because we don't share the same.
I accept that.
I hope he's watching.
Those are the things. Why would I vote for George Weah? The man who has tested, his record has been tested, he's been tried, and he's been proven that when it comes to country first, you will not choose Cummings. We're not selling orange water. When it comes to putting country first, Hassan Benete, like on another level. We've seen what this president, after 50 years of experience, we've seen what he's doing to the country and the people. So who else left? His Excellency Dr. George.
Don't allow me to have seconds on that question. I love that question. If you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Certainly. So that question that person asked you was a beautiful question. And here is my take on that question. You just highlighted the people who are we will call the front runners. I'll call them the front runners. Joseph Boakai, should he run 2029? Because everything in God's hand. Anything can happen tomorrow. Former President George Manen Weah, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. I would throw in Councilor Tiawan Gonglo, and maybe we'll say Leno Moneba. So, of all those people, I told you my decision next election will be based on finding somebody who've not had a chance, because Liberia, in my estimation, it's like a puzzle. We're trying to get the pieces right, so you got to keep figuring it out until you have them placed correctly. That is the reason why, and against that backdrop, that I am going to opt to look at somebody like Cummings, who has a different background, who have not had a chance. I have no alignment with Cummings. I don't know him. He doesn't know me, but I think he deserves a chance. He's been around the corridor of politics for 3 terms or more now, and he deserves a chance. If you ask me, he's proven himself in his private life. Some people say it doesn't transcend to government. I don't know that. You have to give somebody a chance to do something before you can judge them. And the reason why I would never go George Weah route, I always tell people I love him, and I don't think he has anything to prove to anybody. George Weah wanted to become president because God loves him and God has blessed him from day one of his life. God has already given him that chance to be a president of a country. He cannot be president of Ghana. He cannot be president of America. He cannot be president of Saudi Arabia. Only Liberia, George Weah can be a president of. And he has achieved that feat already. He served. God bless him. Nothing happened to him. He has his beautiful family. It is against that thinking that I think he should just sit today and just enjoy his lovely family. Yeah, it's a man who played football to the zenith, to the very top, to the apex. Today, his son is way up there, playing for the greater country on planet Earth where he was born. Timothy Weah played for the great United States of America, will represent USA in World Cup. It's a starter on the US national team. How much more can you want as a man? What George Weah needs? He don't need to prove anything. He has zero to prove. I would tell people.
No, it is not about what he has to. What he has to.
No, because when I think
about
him, I think about you all from CDC bringing him back to run for presidency, and you think he's going to do something differently. I don't think so. Except he's going to manufacture different people from a different planet and bring them to Liberia. Because if he's going to come out with Samuel Tuer, Nathaniel McGill, those people who, to some extent, are sanctioned by the great United States, our biggest donor, they're still going to come down hard on them. America is not going to perceive Samuel Tuer, McGill, Bill Tuerwe differently. They're still on U.S. sanction today. And most of our funds come from the U.S. You people are giving George Weah hard time unnecessarily, if you ask me. Because
I just want to ask my brother one question.
Enjoy his life.
Yeah, go ahead. So we can transition to. Yeah,
let's transition. My brother, we said, right? During George Weah's regime, right? I don't like to say 6 years because it was obviously not 6 years. But during the time that you're watching, what did he do well? That you say, yeah, in his regime, during his term, what did he do well?
That's extremely easy for me. There is nothing that I cannot answer when it comes to any government, because I love every government, but I just made a line with another one. That the best thing that the government did, road connectivity, number one, in my purview, number one thing for the CDC government was road connectivity. And I think most time when he spoke on road connectivity. Then we can go down to other little things, like some people who he put in places that I felt performed. Like my brother Civico, he did extremely well. The level of work that boy did at Buchanan Port in a short time, he transformed Buchanan Port. And there are some other people in government who were effective at their ministries, you know. And those are the things who can give commendation for. It's easy for me to give commendation to anybody when I see something right. And you want me to tell you the wrong thing I can tell you today the amount of wrong they've done that I'm starting to critique them.
Prince, and the reason why I asked that question, right? On top of my list, one of the best things that George Weah did versus why everyone thought he was going to fail was maintaining the peace. Given after the 12 years,
I agree with you 100%.
Of Her Excellency Ellen, the political Maradona of Liberia, when all of the different security apparatus were in Liberia at the time, upon the ascendancy to the presidency for George Weah, when everybody left, people counted this guy out. People wrote him off. That the Liberia was going to go back to those dark days. It took George Weah because why? He had been championing the peace of Liberia. So there was no way Liberia was going to revert to those dark days under his regime. So on the top of the chain. And then things started getting even crazier, but still is too still. So for me, that's the reason why when you say, why I want to, a man who wants peace, my man, I can be Iman Gary, give me peace.
I agree with you 100%, and I love the exchange right now. It's so beautiful that we disagree to agree, and it's a beautiful thing. And sorry I didn't bring that up because it just brings me, Prince, I beg your pardon, it just brings me to the election when George Weah conceded with the level, you know, I wish he lost the election. Very, very narrow margin, very narrow margin, and he conceded openly. It tells you, think about this man's background. George Manneh Oppong Weah, the man who was UNICEF Goodwill. People don't understand the magnitude of those things. UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. UNICEF, United Nations Children Fund, they named him Goodwill Ambassador. That tells you something about him. The people know who they gave the awards to. So he made a process all of that when people were going to him, Mr. President, I know there were people, you know him, you know how we are. People become gullible when you in authority. Not everybody you see around you in authority like you know. They just there for what, some of them they just there for what they can get. Mr. President, the thing is closed. Don't concede so early. Don't. And I know he just told them and say, like Jesus, be still. Know that I'm God. In Liberia, you people be still, Sidishan. I am George Weah. The single most accomplished in the whole of Africa, outside of Nelson Mandela. I think in the whole of Africa, I think only Nelson Mandela trumps George Weah in terms of achievement because what he did in South Africa. But George Weah is no small person. So he knew that he was going to lose by a very narrow margin, but he still conceded. That tells you who he is. So I'll give him that credit too, and we'll add it to it. So road connectivity and the fact that he kept the peace, and you think about the Abdullah Kamara law that he kept so effectively. That's somebody who I saw. Thankfully, I ordered to see him and speak with him at PUL. That's a journalist. I hope you all know that the guy who they named that freedom of speech after Kamara Abdullah.
Yeah, he and I used to live along Satan area.
Yeah,
you know, used to be.
My brother. Yeah, I had one or two exchanges with him at PUL, President of Liberia office. Yeah, so I feel honored when I talk about Kamara Abdullah Kamara. He was a veteran journalist. Yeah, peace be to your arches.
Yeah, thank you so very kindly. Thank you. So you spoke about you looking at a tier option. Let's take the CDC out of this, you know, but let's look at the tier option.
Let's take UP out.
What? Okay, if we want to take the UP out, what is it that you?
No, I will keep the UP out because they are the ruling and they stand a chance to win against.
I will let you defend that position, and I will defend my position.
So, what is it that you saw that have triggered your support for Joseph Nyeoma Boyka, for which you think a tier option is where you are going for? What are those things that you are seeing or you saw over the period that just make your confidence in Joseph Nyeoma Boyka to just like kind of fly away?
That's a beautiful question, Prince. And I'll tell you this much. Earlier, remember I told you I've traveled pretty extensively in Africa. Uganda. I was in Uganda 2019 before I went to Liberia. I went to Liberia for a family member wedding, but I spent 2 weeks in Uganda. The president of Uganda is Uhuru Museveni. He's also an octogenarian. He's in his 80s. That man is old. He's bereft of idea. People are just running the government, and he's just sitting by there with dictatorship. So Joseph Boyka came to power at a late stage of his life presidency, because you remember he was vice president on Ellen. But presidency, he came to power late already. He's already in his 80s. Think about it. 2029, he will be almost 85 because I think his birthday is November or December, one of the two, if I'm mistaken. But his birthday is the latter part of the year, right? So, an elderly man like that, who've done everything, he rose to the rank of being president. He was vice president. He has nothing else to prove. Why don't you give chance to, example, for the like of Mr. Cummings, or man who is eager to serve? Let people see what he's capable of doing. And like I said, we are maybe Cummings' age or slightly younger than Cummings, but I don't want to consider we are because we have already served. So I want to give chance to another person. And another thing that plays in Cummings' favor, what I feel we should give Cummings a chance. Nothing against Boyka, nothing against Weah. Cummings comes from a different background, which is business. Liberia, we've had politicians, we've just had George Weah from the sports background. Then he became politician. So why don't we try another person with a different background? Since we are like a case study, aka a puzzle, trying to figure out and get it right. Why don't we go ahead and try another person with a different background, or Councillor Gonglo? Like I said, I like his chances too. Councillor Gonglo is another solid man who have done a lot of pro bono where people don't know that. My father is a lawyer who brought me to this country. My father is a full member of Liberia Bar Association. One Councillor we said. Right now he's in the US of A. So I know the kind of work Councillor Gonglo have done in our country. A lot of people, he's helped them with pro bono work, meaning people who don't have funds. He's been a lawyer, representing them for free. So he needs a chance, and he's getting older and older by the day. So I think, considering Mr. Weah, who is one of the two best options, you can never negate CDC and UP. I think he's had his chance. He don't deserve to be placed in this difficult role of being president again. He just deserves to enjoy his family, a beautiful family. And Mr. Boyka, who is an elderly statesman, I think he will be too old. Think about it. 85. If he do 6 more years, he could be talking 91. That is too old. I've been to Cameroon. I was in Yaoundé and Douala. The president there, Paul Biya, he's the oldest president in Africa. He's too old. suffering yourself and suffering your people. You bereft, your mind slows down. You think what the people look for young people to play sports because young people, they're agile, they think fast. Why when the professional players getting old, they can send them on loan or send them to lesser or leagues because they're not as sharp as they used to be. So
thank you so much. We're going to take this 1 minute break and announce to our listeners that the CDC USA will be having her national convention from June the 24th to the 28th of 2026. And this particular convention is going to be held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And at this particular convention, we're going to have, our national elections. We're going to have the Liberian Diaspora Engagement Forum. We are also going to be having a diaspora, fundraising for the CDC, a fundraiser for the CDC. And we are going to also be having discussions with other opposition political parties. I mean, all of the opposition's political parties, you talk about the CMC, you talk about the ANC, you talk about just all of the opposition, the MPP, and every one of them. At this particular convention in Philadelphia, there's going to be a time where we'll be sitting, we'll be meeting, and we'll be discussing with other political parties that are in the opposition. So it's going to be a wonderful time. It's going to be from the 24th all the way to the 28th. And all of you Liberians, all of you Seditians, all of you Wiashins, and even people with, a critical mindset or people who are very critical of what is happening in Liberia, you are invited, save the date, and at the appropriate time, you will be giving all of the information. So that is the announcement for us. I want to go to my brother Leo. My brother Leo, the government of Liberia has put out this particular information that they want the entire case, the arson case. Remember, at first they said they wanted to disband all of the jurors. Those who were sitting on the juror bench, they said no. After agreeing to, allowing them to be part of the case, the government came up later and said no, these people can't be because they have been influenced through the thing where they can watch on Facebook, what they can listen to on radio, etc., etc. And now they are saying that there should be a change of location. The Supreme Court has come up to put a halt on the entire case. With all of these that are happening, what is your take on this entire arson issue in Liberia? Let's hear from you, sir.
Prince, like we've all said, and we are seeing the witch hunt played firsthand. Prince, a crime was committed at a certain location, right? You gather all your jurors, you gather everybody. All of them was they were all put outside because why? The jury tampering, everything was going on. You couldn't find no evidence on this guy. How sensitive it is for you to take a case from a certain jurisdiction where the crime happened, right? A crime was committed at a certain location where all the jurors were gathered, judges, everybody there. Now you want to take that particular case from that location to another location. Now in law, that's not even allowed. You cannot take a case from where it happened to go and try it in another location. Why? What's the intent behind that? You cannot tell me you are going to reassemble different jurors from a different location. The result is going to be the same. You don't have the evidence to put this guy down. All of your evidence are flawed. Release the guys that are already you've already put in prison falsely, but you are still holding on to this case. What is your motive? What are you trying to drive at? You said you wanted to change this because you already changed it, man. Why? But you see, again, this I can see Joseph Boakai hand right in this thing. From the onset, you took this man, took him to Italy. Why you yourself were in who of the plan of these things? Came back, you acted like you didn't know nothing about it. When the arson case happened, you went on the scene and said, "Oh, the hooligans that committed this thing," and you understood that you and Richard Kuhn, all of you were in bed, lying down, planning these things. Come to find out, what do you want from behind a Fanatico file? I mean, so This is not a case. Throw this thing away. But it's just a matter of which hunt. How can we move past this? How can we develop Liberia when we are hunting my brother Elson? How can we develop the country when everything now you want to go, okay, even your own regime? You understand? So this is just pure witch hunt. I mean, throw this case away, my brother. Throw it away. It does not make sense to me at all.
Thank you so much. Let's go to our brother Elston. You've been following what is happening in Liberia relative to this arson case. The government sent for, experts from the United States to go investigate. Up to now, we are yet to get the full report from the experts' own analysis of what happened. We are just taking bits and pieces and just discussing it. There were people who were accused, and up to now, they are still, with the issue in court. There were people who allegedly said that the police even tortured them to be able to make some confession or indict people, and these people refused. The government said they were never tortured. They went to to hospital because they provided doctors to prove, and the doctors proved that yes, they were tortured, etc., etc. Now the same government is telling us let's change location because we want for this thing to be manipulated. Now the Supreme Court has put a halt on the entire case. Let's hear from you. What is your take on this entire arson case in Liberia?
Yeah, relative to the arson dilemma. Leo, you're in the US?
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina.
Okay, awesome. My statement I'm about to make is predicated upon the fact that those of us in America, we have some leverage and we see things from a lot more broader perspective. And this is what I mean by that. When you think about America and you think how hard it comes down on people, especially people in affluent position, like working in higher offices in government, and when you make outlandish statements, when you make statements that are questionable, you make statements that threaten the peace, it can haunt you in this country. So around that time of the burning of the Capitol, there were a whole lot of happenings. I mean, things were going on in the city. And I remember on one occasion, I'm going to be very honest here, one of the representatives from Monrovia, from around my end, Matadi, the representative there, Frank Safoko.
Yeah.
No, Frank Safoko, he made a statement. Frank Safoko, I want to begin with. Safoko made a statement around that time. You remember when they were battling, what do you call them? The Kun group and the Kufa group. Majority, minority. You remember Frank Safoko on one of the interviews, he said if there were reason, for which they were being opposed, if it meant that they would have to burn down the Capitol, they would do that. I'm not saying uprightly he burned the Capitol. But if anyone who lives in America and following this video or that will watch this video thinks that that statement would have gone scot-free if he were working in America, that person is joking. If you made that statement in America, you will have to answer to the government. And you and I know that for free, that you cannot make a statement like that in America, that if XYZ happens, we will burn down the Capitol. And
so
then
to just come in quickly before you continue, I'm sorry for intruding.
That's perfectly
He was
fine.
invited by the police. He was invited by the police, investigated, and he was clear off,
I just making a point.
Yes,
I just making a point that you have to clear your side. But it tells me that there was something fishy around that time that caused the burning of that Capitol. I don't think, and I stand to be corrected because the case is still ongoing. I don't think that Capitol burned itself, and I don't think it was accidental. These are the two cases that in the end we could say, well, it happens in that part of nature. It could be by mistake, somebody could have caused the fire, or natural causes. Sometimes things just happen. But considering the circumstances around what was unfolding, I found it questionable. It could be the people from the government side, because you can never tell. He might be malicious, and it could be somebody from the opposing side. So it could be somebody from Kofa's camp. It could be anybody from Kun's camp. But I think the burning of that Capitol and the circumstances surrounding and the timing, I think I found something very fishy, and I think that Capitol, something has to be done about it, because we have to have respect for our public buildings. You don't see people are cowardly around other parts of the world like that. That building is one of the longest serving buildings in our country, and I think people should account for that. If you take it by what Bwaka was saying, people should account for it.
Prince,
yes, sir. Yeah, come in, please.
My brother Elson, look, I want us to call it for what it is. Whilst you are right that certainly that Capitol building is not even the act of God, like American people will say, oh, it might be the act of no. That building it's a deliberate act. It was a deliberate act because before that building got burned, there were two major happenings that occurred that took place. The chairs got missing. No, I'm going somewhere. The chairs got missing.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden, the guys took the chairs, put it somewhere with a majority group. You still couldn't house the speaker at that time.
Sure.
And there was another happening. You went and broke into the speaker's office. Things started happening. All of a sudden, with all of those happenings, why were the majority black or the speaker? Why weren't they called? You went and put this lady there and took her out. My brother, the writings are clear on the wall. The United Party, whether they incriminate the minority, but they carry on the act.
So let me hold you there, Brother Leo. We have someone on the line that wants to, contribute, and we're going to bring them on. Hello, your name and where you've joined us from. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Prince. I'm Cecilia Freeman calling from Virginia.
Thank
you for the show. Yeah, it's a great show. I just wanted to make clarity on what Wisa just said.
Okay.
Yeah, concerning Representative Frank Sarfoko.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarfoko did not say he would burn down the Capitol. He said if what that was unfolding in the Capitol building amongst themselves, he said he would burn down the section, which means the meeting that will be ongoing. He did not say the Capitol. So I just want to make that correction. If you find that video, you will hear Frank Sarfoko saying section. Section is the meeting that they will be having. The meeting that they have always, that the representatives have.
What she's gonna like, you ask her, where is the section held?
Different from the Capitol building.
Ask her, where is the section? Where is the section?
It flies and they start hunting people all over the place for it. He did not say the Capitol, he said section.
Thank you so much. So our brother Elston is asking about the location of this section, usually where sections are held.
Where?
First of all, if you say you would disturb the meeting or you would disturb the meeting, disturbing a meeting in the Capitol building, the meeting is the section. Okay? The meeting that they have within the Capitol building is the section. If you say, if anybody talk nonsense in this meeting, we disturb the whole meeting, or I will cut off, I will disturb the whole meeting. It is different from I will burn down the house. He did not say I will burn down the Capitol building. He said the section.
Can we be looking for that?
So let's just get that clear because a lot of people watching the show.
Oh, okay. Thank you so very kindly for that clarity. Thank you so much.
In the interim.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I want to respond.
So one thing I want to say here also before you can come in, my brother Elston, the section is not necessarily held at the Capitol building.
I agree.
Where the lawmakers gather, where they choose to gather, the section can even be on Broad Street, a particular location, etc., etc. So I just wanted to say that before you come in. But go ahead. You have the
Thank you. Sir. You are not wrong. Section can mean anywhere they converge, and you are so accurate about that. But then let's be realistic to ourselves. Like I tell you all, let's keep it very, very objective here. Most times when we refer to section, we know we are inferring the Capitol building, and you are not wrong that the section can be held outside of the Capitol building. But I know when we talk about the section, it is being held at the Capitol. And now, if you can, I wish you could find out. If not, I'm going to search for it and send it to you so we can play it, because I want to clarity, the context, the context in which it was said. Like I said, and you made it even better when you clarified that Foko was invited, which I know about, and he cleared his side. But I had to bring it up. And like I said, you remember my premise, considering those are all who live in America, that will not slide in America. You will have to go and answer questions. It is against that backdrop that I brought Foco's name because we take things lightly in our country. Even people in influential position, they take things so lightly in our country. Just imagine another thing I'm going to critique this government on again. The Chief Justice, somebody use vocal language, use obscene language on his family. The person gets quickly invited and get investigated quickly and sped up to prison. But mind you, grave crimes like people sodomizing our young boys, our young girls, raping our young girls, as grave as that is, they keep those kind of cases on the docket. They drag their feet. They have not brought it. Look at this government. We get people raping our children. People are not investigating them swiftly, but you're quickly investigated Prophet T for using obscene language on the Chief Justice. That tells you some of the things that we have problem with, and we're going to speak out about. It is against that background. I said, Foco, it was right that they invited him because his statement, it was threatening. If you threaten to burn down a section, any wise and intelligent person knows where section is held for the larger extent, and you are not wrong to say at times if they meet on Kerry Street, that section. So I just have to make that point, and I hope you can find a clip. If you can, I'm seeking for it now.
Thank you. Yeah, Leo, let's hear from you. Let's hear from you on this some stuff. You spoke about it.
Yeah, I've spoken on it, but look, like I said earlier, it's just a witch hunt thing that's going on against Fanatico, for a very fine man, a man who has served his country, and you cannot match the both speakers' record. I mean, look at Richard Kuhn. Look at what the majority black gave to us. As a matter of fact, according to the brother's point, Foco should have even been held. If we want to go with that context, right? Because, hey, this was something that came out. But why hold out to Fanatico for? Why? Bring your evidence. You are the state. You have the bullet point, my man Prince. Bring the evidence. There is no evidence here. Release this man. You cannot. So if we want to go with what the president is saying, there are hooligans that came out, Foco said it. Okay, Yeke is on tape. He said, I was part of those that carried out the act. You can't call Yeke. There are other people who have said it. Somebody will say, oh, it's just why you spoke. I mean, no. What this president is looking for behind a fine man like Fanatico Fa is yet to be seen. There's no case. But you will not arrest his own people that committed the crime. And we know those people that committed this crime. And in due time.
But Prince, you could, Prince, I'm not sorry, Leo, you could just outrightly inform the government who did it, since you know them.
His intelligent information is yet to be declassified, my brother.
No. The case is ongoing. You can serve as a whistleblower.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. It's yet to be declassified.
Yeah, no, I beg to differ. I think the case is ongoing, and I think justice should serve. And if everyone is culpable, they should be brought to book. I think people should not continue to get away with things when they do things such. Those are terrible acts. Why would you burn that beautiful building?
President Bouakai is part of the planner of the burning of that Capitol building.
I beg to differ. And anybody can say anything. I mean, it's your right to say anything.
President Bouakai, or man who will pump goat with saw. The papa is too vindictive. You can see his mind.
Thank you so much. So I just want to play something, and I think we're going to end on this, and we give each of us at least we have a minute or two to close up because we are at our time. So let me play this. I'm going to play the audio. I'm trying to get the video, but I need to do so many, taking from one area to the other, which is going to take us time. But I want to play this. I just want to play this for us to hear.
Yeah, please, it's not clear enough. I don't know if my brother is hearing it. Yeah.
It's a little foggy by listening.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, so I I think I'm going to put it. I'm going to do some manipulation. I'll put it on my
why you
system.
manipulate? Let me see if I can just play it from my end. Let's see, maybe we'll get it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Try it. All right.
Prioritize the Liberian people interest.
Okay, let me play it. There you go.
Yes.
You hear it?
We cannot prioritize the Liberian people interest, for which we were sent here from the 73 districts to bring down session. Are you serious? Are you going to bring very serious about it? To bring down? I'm telling you that if the Liberian people, JFK got issue, even our staff force at Capitol building, there is no bus to take them home. There is no bus to bring them. There is no health protection for them. No insurance here for them. Now look at JFK. Now look at Redemption Hospital. Now look at the teachers. Are we looking at the University of Liberia?
I think basically we get a concept, or you wanted to end, we get a concept of it. So she was right. He was talking about the section, and you was also right where you were talking about where the meat, is a section. Yeah. So thank you. Right. Thank you for that.
And we want to appreciate what was her name? Sarah, I think.
Cecilia Freeman.
Freeman. Thank you, Cecilia. But at the same token, we all understand words. We can play with words, and words have connotative and denotative meaning. We'll have dictionary meaning. We'll have you use it what it implies. So we know that when he said burn down the section, we pretty much know where sections are held, and the legitimate place for a section is at the Capitol building. So thank you.
Thank you so very kindly. So at this time, we'll go to Brother Elston again so that we can hear your closing. And again, before you go to your closing, let me just use this time to really appreciate you for coming on. I know how busy it is. After work, you have to rest yourself. You're running between family, and doing what you're doing. Like me, I'm babysitting right now at the same time on the show. That's what people don't understand. Let me just confess this. Do you know that sometimes I have, somebody on my back while I present the show? People don't even know. It's not easy. But I want to thank you, Elston, for using the time to come on, especially somebody will say at this ungodly hour of the night while you should be resting.
Certainly.
But thank you so much. Let's get your closing, sir.
Certainly. I don't know. How old is your child?
I have one that is 3. I have 2. I have 1 4, and I have 1 1.
I will tell you, I'm a rub it in your face. We've been there before, you guys. So fortunately, mine are older. I have older kids, so I don't have to babysit them. So yeah, but no, on a serious note, I really appreciate the opportunity extended. I mean, I would tell people any platform, I'm willing to swim with anybody because I come with an open heart. That's why you remember, I think yesterday I phoned in and I said to Jake, when you discuss the issue and maintain an open mind, don't be sentimental about the issue. Just be realistic to yourself. You don't have to worry about it. The idea would just flow. I think Liberians, if we only put country first, I think we'll do well, and we'll hold leaders accountable for their acts, and we will do better as a country because we will place ourselves in a place that the people who are at the helm of power, they will understand that without the downtrodden masses, the people who are in their numbers, the poor people, they will not ascend to power. So when they ascend to power, they have to regard the people who they left down there and always reflect on those people. And against that background, I will always avail myself to any discussion like that. I come from this background already, so I appreciate doing this stuff. And I would say to my brother Leo, it was my first time meeting you, but we had a very pleasant interaction. And I know when I come on with Jake, it's gonna be fiery because Jake, and I'm an outspoken person. I'll say it as it is. Jake is a person who is very fiery, and he tell it as it is. So I know it's gonna be a heated show, and I look forward to it. It's gonna be a beautiful exchange. So Prince, again, I say thank you, my brother, for a 40-minute opportunity.
Thank you so much. It's always a privilege. Thank you. Let's go to our brother Leo. My brother Leo, let's get your closing, sir.
And let me take this time to thank you. Prince, I mean, I'm watching. You're a very good father, my brother. I wish some of us got that quality, I tell you. But yeah, and also let me take my time to thank Mr. Wisem. I mean, you're a very open-minded guy. I like you, intellectually open. I would like to engage with you more. I hope this is not your first time, and reach out to Prince. Obviously, you can come and it opens our mind to know what we are doing as far as what we are trying to have a shape Liberia to be in. But like I said, for me personally, while I close, I don't see anybody better now, in my opinion, of all of the different candidates that I've seen, better than George Weah. moving on in 2029. I don't see. I try to crack my head, and like my brother said, got to be open-minded. I try, but I just can't see. So 2029, you know, like I said, the guy was given the first term, and we know how rough it was around that time. COVID and everything else that came through, and we know some of us that have spoken to him personally that guarantee that, look, Leo is not going to be like the first time. So we know this president has learned from his experience, and he's always putting nation first. Like my brother always talk, and I know this guy means well for Liberia. I'm talking about Mr. Wise here, and that's what George Weah is putting countries first. So those of us that have taken the mantle to say no, we are going to make sure that happens. We are going to put our right foot first so that make sure it happens.
Thank you so very kindly. I want to appreciate you, Leo. So on this note, my people, I want to say thanks to all of you who had your critical pieces out here, especially in terms of the comments. You know, those of you who disagree with us, those of you who agree, those of you who have different opinion relative to what we discussed, we want to say thank you. Again, we meet here on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the Redemption Hour. Sometimes when you see us coming in between the week, it means that, you know, maybe to some extent we are, you know, having some time, and we want to use that time to at least inform our people. So I want to say thank you. But again, feel free at any time you think it's important for you to join us. You don't necessarily have to agree with us in terms of our political alignment, but let's agree to disagree. I think those of us in the United States must set the pace for, you know, creating that environment where our people will understand that I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me politically, but we can still be together. We can still exchange ideas because it's all meant for the forward march of Liberia. At the end of the day, nobody here wants any kind of bad news from Liberia. All of us, we may not agree politically or have the same alignment, but all of us want a Liberia where our children can grow, feel fine, and a better Liberia, more than how we met it, you know. So again, I want to say thank you. The line is always open. The number is there. Join us and let's make it wonderful. On this note, I want to say thanks to all of our panelists. Bye from my end.
Thank you, please.
My brother in the comment section, he said, I'm now objective. What? He said, like, in the comment section, he said, now objective. I see this.
That's all right. That's all right.
How you looking like?
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg them. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.